I want to thank Chair Diaz-Pizito and Ranking Member Carter for allowing me to weigh on. Poorly manufactured and poorly handled lithium-ion batteries are ticking time bombs in American homes and businesses. A lithium-ion battery can cause not just a fire, but an instantaneous explosion. The sheer speed and scale of the destruction it brings is nothing short of staggering. For proof, look no further than the ruins of 2096 Grand Concourse, a neighborhood supermarket in the Bronx, one of the few, reduced to rubble at the hands of a 5-alarm fire caused by a lithium-ion battery. Lithium-ion battery fires are happening in America and happening with greater frequency and intensity. The growth of these fires in New York City has been exponential, from more than 30 in 2019 to more than 40 in 2020 to more than 100 in 2021 to more than 200 in 2022. In the span of 4 years, there's been a 900% surge in lithium-ion batteries, creating an unprecedented crisis in fire safety. And so, Chief Flynn, I know the City Council has enacted legislation, but if we in Congress do nothing or do too little, is it fair to say that the crisis will simply keep getting worse?
Thank you, sir. I remember meeting you out there at the Grand Concourse after that fire. It was a terrible tragedy. Luckily, nobody died from injuries at that fire. That was one device that took out an entire shopping center. It was a huge fire. A 5th alarm, for just to put it in perspective, that's the maximum that we have. Right? That's the most resources we can bring to a scene. We have regulated it within New York City, and we've seen many violations of that law that we put in place locally. We cannot regulate devices that are coming into the city from the surrounding areas. So
ultimately, there's no substitute for federal legislation.
Yeah, so we really need that legislation enacted to stop those products from coming in, not only to our city, but to cities around the country.
So here in the House, I'm advancing legislation, H.R. 1797, that empowers the Consumer Product Safety Commission to establish safety standards for the manufacturing of lithium-ion batteries and the e-mobility devices that contain them. And I want to thank the International Association of Fire Chiefs, which was the first to endorse the bill. Although no legislation is a magic bullet, do you believe, as I do, that safer manufacturing would prevent and reduce lithium-ion batteries in New York City and elsewhere in America? Chief Flynn, do you want to?
Absolutely. I think, as Dr. Kerber mentioned, we're really not seeing these fires in the EVs. The reason, I believe, is because they're manufactured better. We're seeing low-quality products that are causing these fires in New York City. Products that are being worked on or fixed or made to go faster in New York City. These are not high-quality products that are causing these fires. If we were to enact that standard, I believe we'll see what we see in the EVs, where we're seeing very few fires in EVs, at least in New York City, I could speak for. If we had that standard, I think we would see a tremendous change.
You spoke about the lack of quality. I sit on the China Committee, and part of the problem is the lack of safety regulation in China. Just like the flow of drug precursors from China is perpetuating opioid deaths in America, the flow of poorly manufactured lithium-ion batteries from China is perpetuating fire deaths in America. I feel strongly that Congress should act swiftly to lower the de minimis threshold for imports in order to prevent poorly manufactured lithium-ion batteries from saturating the American market. Does anyone have an opinion on the de minimis threshold?
I would say that it's, as high as it is, has certainly allowed a number of e-bikes and e-scooters to come into this country underneath that threshold and create fire safety problems that we're dealing with today.
Administrator, about 2 years ago, I passed the United States Fire Administration Empowerment Act, which set up a federal process for investigating the deadliest fires in America. Can you speak about just the status of the implementation of the law and the importance of the federal role in fire safety, which historically has been seen as a local concern?
Absolutely, sir. And first of all, thank you for your interest in fire safety and in that bill, sponsoring that bill, because we are in the midst of rulemaking at present, defining what a major fire would be, as was defined in or laid out in the legislation. And so we're hopeful to very soon be able to exercise that authority and look at major fires and these recurring unfortunate fires that are happening with the lithium ion.
I yield back.